Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope everybody's doing awesome. I'm doing not too bad. I'm just gonna say I had some weird stuff happen this morning with OBS, but we're making it work, you know. We can probably figure this stuff out. Maybe. I don't know. But hopefully you guys are doing awesome. I'm doing pretty good. Not too bad anyway. I got some fun topic to converse about this morning, but I am a bit verhoodled. Good morning, Lego Tech Mike. Awesome to see you. I actually think I have all of the chat stuff functional this morning, which is a rare occasion that actually can happen. See if we go like this. There we go. Hey, look at everything is working as intended, even on the good old TikToks. So we're all set. I'm pretty excited to be hanging out with you guys today. And a bit exhausted. It was a long weekend of pretty epic NFL football. I'm not going to lie. I had a pretty good time. We got Jeff Davis in the house doing much better. Tyreek Hill sounds like he's blown a knee out. Yeah, it does. I don't have any pieces of Tyreek on any of my teams this year, so it's not super disappointing to me. In fact, I was playing Tyreek Hill this week, and his unfortunate accident probably helped me to win. So, you know, you're not going to get me crying crocodile tears over Tyreek Hill's injury. However, I do hope that he returns soon because he is a fun player to watch. So, he's so fast. Yeah, he is. He was. When the leg bends and stays where it shouldn't, it isn't. Yeah. No, that's not a good thing, and it's usually a pretty long standing injury, unfortunately. Something like that is pretty, it's one of those things that's, gonna last for a minute or two. So, let's see if this stuff is working this morning. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, we're working. We're working it. All right. So, my hotkeys don't work on my Stream Deck, but that works. So, yay. I don't know if a lot of you guys actually saw the thumbnail for this video. It might be one of my all-time favorite thumbnails. Let's see here. We are live on TikTok, but it doesn't look like. Let's see. Very strange because there is no video source in here. What is going on here? Huh. Oh, that's why. Boom. There we go. That's a bit better. Now we're live on TikTok. Haha. Yeah, we were on this scene right here. And that was not. Yeah. So I've got to get better. Good morning to all my TikTok brothers and sisters. I appreciate you coming hanging out with me. I think that's probably a lot better. Yes, the Diablo thumbnail this morning is one of my favorites. One of my favorite thumbnails that I've ever created. And that is because it's kind of saying something without saying something. It's a cool picture, yes. However, it's also asking the question, have we reached our final form? Is this the end, of society as we know it? Because that was definitely AI created, Jeff. I couldn't get the devil to sit down and pose for me, so I had to get AI to do it. But if you notice, the devil is wearing some pretty cool AI meta glasses. They're real glasses in real life, but in the image they are AI generated. And I saw MBKHD or whatever. I never can get his name right, but you know who I'm talking about, the tech guy. He did a video on these Meta glasses, and I watched that and thought, huh, you know, these things get just a little bit better, and we can finally get rid of this stupid thing, and maybe, just maybe, have a post-cell phone world, which I welcome. I absolutely welcome. Yeah, Marquez Brownlee, that's the dude. MKBHD. Yeah, that's the guy. That's the guy. He did a review on these Meta glasses, the ones with the screens in them and stuff, and I thought, yeah, okay. I think we finally got to the point where if they put the cell phone inside those glasses, we are probably in a post-cell phone world, assuming that you want to put a wearable on your face. I think in order for it to really take over the masses and all that stuff, it's going to have to be probably put into some kind of form where it's a wearable that you put in your eye or something like that. I don't think people are going to really want to wear glasses. However, it is something, when you look at it, that you could latch onto and say, yep, I could definitely see myself tossing my cell phone in the trash because this will do all the same things. And I never have to look up or look down or look away or pull something out of my pocket or worry about it getting broken or damaged. I can just basically wear this wristband and put these glasses on, and I have access to all the same stuff. And, definitely hit that thumbs up if you could. But the thing is, the thing about that is, at least when somebody picks up their phone, they're not paying attention to you. They're on their phone. With these Google glasses, you don't know. They could, you could be having a conversation that they could be filming. And we all know how well that works out on the internet. When someone films a conversation that you don't know they're filming, people are going to be wearing these in the bathroom. They're not going to just magically take them off. I mean, every aspect of your life, once these things just become wearable, every aspect of your life has the opportunity to be recorded for posterity by the internet. So, the U.S. version deficient folks who already... Whoop, hold on. That's not what I was looking for. Right there. U.S. version deficient folks who already wear glasses kind of get left out. Well, the thing is they're... because Ray-Ban manufactures these, you can get a prescription in them easily. So if you wear glasses already, I can foresee those folks being the first ones to adopt this, because they just order them in their prescription. They already wear glasses anyways, and bada bing, they're all set up. But my main concern really, truly is the situation where these folks are out at lunch or dinner, and the thing is constantly watching. Even if the camera is not recording, it's constantly watching. It can add AR elements into your view on a constant basis. And there are some real serious significant benefits to a system like that. But boy, to know for sure, because right now you could go out with your buddies. There's a good chance that you're not going to, be accidentally recorded saying something really stupid or just in a, let's be honest, when you go out with your buddies, you have a couple of beers, stupid things get said. It just is what it is. So if you're going to, have a situation where everybody in your group, your crew or whatever is wearing these things, there's a good chance everything is going to be recorded for posterity. And boy, there are going to be some nasty things on the interwebs that probably shouldn't be there because, well, it is what it is. And there's no way to avoid it because these things are coming. We're not, like I said, post-cell phone world, I would welcome the opportunity to just toss these things on and never have to pick up my phone again. That would be awesome. Oh, Santa Claus is in the house. Only 85 days until Christmas. Don't worry, Santa. I won't let it sneak up on me. I was in where was it? Oh yeah, I had to go into the dreaded Walmart yesterday, and I went in there, and they have a Christmas section. And the second that I see the Christmas section, man, I just get happy. I can't help it. I can't help it. I got Christmas music in my head. I just get happy. So that was pretty exciting. Yep, I'm a sucker for the holidays. What can I say? I'm a Christmas monkey. Ah. Yeah. So, there we go. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for coming and poking in and saying hi on TikTok. It's nice. I get lots of chatter on YouTube, but you TikTok guys are mighty quiet. You could speak up. It's not a problem. We are not trying to discourage our TikTok folks from saying hi. Just do it. Just do it. And while you're at it, why not flip a follow on there and give me your opinion on the new Meta glasses? Are they going to replace our cell phones? Is it going to be an absolute terror on society with nobody being able to freely speak anymore because you're worried about, well, getting recorded? Maybe you make a bad take. Maybe you just say something that's meant to be a joke. Maybe, just maybe, you're like me and occasionally say things that are insensitive to certain people or whatever. Maybe. I don't know. It could happen. We're in that world now. They're here. They're taking over. And there's nothing we can do about it. So I personally welcome the post-cell phone world because I hate carrying this stupid box around. I think it blows. Oh, that's not what... There we go. That's not... I don't like it. Walmart survival stories. Gotta love it. That's right, Santa Claus. I do, I survived. Jeff Davis says that his jokes are pretty dark after 10 years in the Navy. You gotta check my audience before I offend anybody. Exactly. I mean, I spent 6 years in the Army. Man, I spent a lot of years as a technician. I spend a lot of time around people who do cars and everything else. And let's be honest, a bunch of guys start drinking beer and hanging out in the garage. We're not exactly the most sensitive human beings on the planet. It doesn't necessarily mean that we are, not good people. But sometimes people say things as a joke. I can tell you right now, if somebody sits down to film any game of Cards Against Humanity, and the whole world is going to be offended. It is what it is. The whole point of that joke, the whole point of that game is to be offensive. And that's what makes it funny. It's, so, whatever. I don't know. I don't think that anybody should get angry over words, period. I don't care what they are. We live in America where you have you have free speech. You have the right to be a bigot if that's what you are. You have the right to be a bigot and say it. Now, with that said, you also have the right to get fired for being a bigot because nobody wants to sit next to you in the office if you're some sort of giant racist or whatever. So, there are consequences to your free speech, and I will freely admit that, I totally understand that. We have to live in a society where you have to interact with other people. If you're constantly spouting off things that are just socially unacceptable, nobody wants to sit next to you. Plus, well, there's just stuff. But you don't have the right to not be offended. That's exactly right. People, just because somebody says something that offends you, first of all, It doesn't make what they said wrong. And second of all, that is not violence. You know, that's just a guy that said something that you don't like. Get over it. I got lots of friends who say things that I don't like, and they're still friends because, you know, there's more to being a friend than always, than always liking everything they say. That's why we have different people in the world. I've been married to a woman for a very long time, and she says things sometimes I don't like. It is what it is. You know, that's why she's her own person, and I'm my own person. And, you know, I guarantee you that I've said things once or twice that she didn't like. I guarantee it. It has happened, you know? It has happened. I'm not gonna lie. Oh boy. So how was everybody's weekend? I hope everybody won their fantasy football contests. I got 3 out of 4. My sister-in-law smacked me around and beat me pretty badly in the family fantasy football tournament. That was not fun. I did not like that. Because she has no idea what she's doing, and I should know better. But it is what it is. Sometimes your guys just don't perform, you know? And then what are you going to do? You're going to suck it up, and you're going to go on to the next week. But my other 3, I did win. So that's good. You know. I'm looking at TikTok's tools over here, and it has all kinds of interactions. It has play together. Then you can set up a live goal. My personal live goal is to survive the live stream, hopefully live. Post and gift vote. I don't know what that is yet. Playbook and gift gallery. So there you go. There you go. Yeah, there's some stuff over here. I have no idea what it means. And we've got Superfan, Fan Club, and Promote. Again, no idea. So I'm going to have to explore those tools. Jeff Davis says, after 37 years of marriage, congratulations, I've learned to keep my responses to my lovely wife to yes, dear, right away, dear. It keeps me out of trouble. Absolutely. You know, and the thing is, and there are a lot of young people out there that would say, that's a miserable life. Why would you live like that? And blah, blah, blah. And, you know, when we say things like that, it's kind of tongue-in-cheek. When you live with a person that long and you enjoyed their company that long and you know everything about that person, there is a certain level of respect that develops. But not only that, and to me, this is the best part about being married, I want to make sacrifices that make my spouse happy. I know this sounds crazy to young people because they don't even want to make sacrifices if it can possibly make them happy, if it requires them to do anything, you know, challenging. But I've been married twice. I was married the first time for about 10 years, and she passed from cancer. She's the mother of my 2 children. So my wife, current wife, has been the stepmom, but the real mom to the 2 kids that I do have. And, you know, when you live with somebody for, I guess we're going on I think we're closing on 20 years or something like that. And you know, Monica and I have worked for the same company for most of our lives, and when I stopped working for that company, it was over a period of time where most of the time she works from home. So we would drive to work together. We would drive home from work together. We obviously live in the same house. And now that she works from home too, we spend nearly 100% of all of our free time within 200 yards of each other all the time, every day. And you know what? A lot of people think that, oh my gosh, don't you need your space? Or how can you live like that? Or I would just go nuts. And it's like, no, this is the greatest thing ever. It's the greatest thing ever. That's what being part of a good relationship is. Sometimes you have to just put your ego away, realize other people have needs and thoughts. And the thing is when you care about somebody, and you're with them that long, like I said, I just really want to. I really want her to be happy, even if it's at my expense. When we go on vacation, we don't go on vacation, or I don't plan vacations based on what I want to do. I plan vacations based on things that I like to do that I know she loves to do. It is what it is. It's why I don't go on cruises with her. It's why we don't go to the shore and sit on the beach, even though I love to do those things. If I'm going to do those things, generally speaking, I'm going to get small doses of them by myself or with a couple of friends, because it's just not what she likes to do. When we go on vacation, I plan to do things that I know she loves to do. These are the kind of things that you do when you care about somebody. You make those sacrifices. Now, you never want to get to the point where those sacrifices create a situation where you are, where you're angry or you're bitter about the things that you give up. And that's what's beautiful about having a spouse who's the best. The things that I want to do, I just go do them with my friends, so that we can go on vacation and enjoy doing the things that are mostly what she likes to do. So there you have it. Tim says, it's best don't seek to make yourself happy. Try to make others happy, and you'll probably find your own happiness along the way. Man, I absolutely love that. That's very, very cool, Jeff. And very, very smart, very good, because that's the reality. The beautiful, amazing thing that I remember about Christmas, especially now that I'm the age that I'm at, is not all the cool stuff that I got growing up as a kid or whatever for Christmas, although I do remember some of that. What I remember most is when my kids were growing up and when we would, do things that excited them and made them happy. Boy, that's the best feeling in the world. I absolutely remember going on vacation with my kids every year. Between Christmas and New Year, we would go to Disney and have just the greatest time ever. And those kinds of things, the sacrifices that you make to make others happy, they're so much more rewarding than buying the latest tech for yourself or whatever, or things like that. They're just so much more rewarding. And I can definitely appreciate that a lot more. And the world would be a whole heck of a lot better place if people would start to think about others, at least semi-equally to how they feel or think about themselves. But boy, did we get off track here. And I don't know how we managed to do that, because this one is about Meta's new glasses and their AI functionality and inevitability of them putting cell phone service in that so that you can basically toss this in the dumpster. And in that point, we're in a post-cell phone world. And I welcome the ability to have a wearable that will do all those things. Here's the other thing about these glasses that I think can really change society, or I think can make it better. So these glasses have a camera here and here. They're probably eventually going to have some sort of IR functionality so they can read depth and be able to put AI elements in your world. So for folks like me who aren't 22 anymore, and occasionally have a little bit of difficulty driving at night because it's a little bit more difficult for me to see, a set of glasses like this could be pretty awesome because it can scan and enhance your visibility outside of your window. So maybe the yellow painted lines that aren't reflective anymore, well, it can kind of tell you where those are. If something is in front of you in the road, it can kind of highlight that so that it makes it easier for you to see at night, for you to, have good depth perception. Boy, a set of glasses like this can be really, really a big deal. Now, I really honestly thought that we were at the point where stuff like that might actually be built into automotive windshields, but not so far. Eventually, we're going to be wearing technology that can actually do that can actually read objects crossing the road or tell you how far ahead of the car the next car is. That sort of stuff. And in conjunction with all of the tools that are already built into your car that will brake for you and everything else if there's an emergency and you are not paying attention, these things could be pretty good at preventing accidents, especially for folks who get older and don't see quite as well at night. It's one of the reasons why we are 2-day Disney travelers instead of what used to be 1 day. And it's because I basically will drive mostly during daylight. And then when it starts to get dark or in the evening, it's just too tiring. I have to work so much harder to pay attention when it's dark out and see properly than I used to. It just is what it is. And all of you youngsters over on TikTok who are laughing, oh, look at the old guy can't see at night. Oh, don't worry. It's coming for you. It's gonna happen. I always prided myself on how ridiculously good my eyesight has been for a very, very long time. And even my eyesight eventually said, hey, I'm getting tired and old. So it'll happen to everybody. It is what it is. And eventually, you're going to have difficulty seeing at night as well. So luckily, there'll be lots of tools developed by the time you get to that point, and you won't have to worry about it. But these tools are coming down the pike, and that's one of the cool things that I can see these Meta glasses being beneficial for. But I don't know, the trade-off. I think, honestly, that this thing right here is one of the worst things for society that's ever been developed in human history. This makes people dumber. It makes people, it takes away people's ability to properly communicate. So I think from a societal communication perspective, this is one of the reasons why our society can't actually communicate or get along at all. So there are very few things about this that I think are good. Very few. So when you talk about wearables, let's just put this on your face. Well, I'm just talking about replacing one evil with another one that's slightly more convenient. I mean, at least when you're sitting down at dinner with your buddies and somebody pulls out their cell phone, you know they're not paying attention. You know they're not listening to anything that's going on. But when your wearable is doing it, you have no idea. This guy could be surfing porn while he's at dinner with you and his buddies and everything else and not paying any attention to you. He could also be recording you so that when you tell that extremely off-color joke, you know it's going to show up on the internet. And we will have no way to know. There's nothing we can do about any of this. So in some ways, it takes all of the stuff that makes the cell phone bad for society and turns it up to 11. But there are some amazing benefits to it, especially if you combine it with AI. You know, the ability to have AI enhance what you see, give you information about different things. I think, especially for elderly people, it could be such a huge benefit. Because, it's that eyesight thing again. You go into a restaurant, and if your restaurant has any atmosphere, it's a little darker. You gotta, read that menu. Now it can enhance the menu. It could even read it to you in your ears. Be pretty cool. I feel cheated. I ate carrots like crazy as a kid because it was good for your eyesight. I'm blind as a bat. I hear you, Jeff. I hear you. Well, I got chosen for the job that I did in the military based on the quality of my eyesight. So it was always kind of like a source of pride for me that my eyes were so good. And my wife is blind as a bat, so she's always kind of relied on me. And it's not bad, but they're not what they used to be anymore. It's unfortunate. I've not got the great eyes anymore, It's just sort of okay eyes. Yeah, no, Muffin. or Jeff, it was definitely not um, sniper related. In fact, I'm not a huge fan of that shooting guns thing. I mean, obviously, you do what you got to do when you're in the military, and I was a good marksman, but I'm also a lefty. And what happens when you're a lefty and you're in the military? You're always wearing long sleeves. It's just the way it is. So what would happen is the the spent cartridges would come out of the weapon and into the lefty sleeve, and or hit you in the face, which was never fun. That was never a good time. I did not like getting hit with super hot spent cartridges in the face. So shooting my M16 was never high on the list of things I enjoyed doing. I was all right at it, but it wasn't any fun. The world is not set up for left-handed people, no doubt, no doubt. But I made do. I survived. I'm sure that nowadays somebody probably sues, or they ask for that right-handed rifle that doesn't exist because, well, you can't go through that kind of hardship. Hey, man, when you're a lefty, you use it the way it's made. That's just the way it is. Your life is, you're constantly doing whatever society gives you because that's the way it is. We make all kinds of concessions in society for a massive number of different groups these days. Lefties are not one of them. Nobody's ever making concessions for lefties. There is a theory that lefties in general tend to die like 7 years before righties. So I'm already screwed because I'm a male. So I'm definitely going to die earlier than a female. And I'm a lefty. So there's that. But I guess the theory is that everything in society is geared and made and tailored towards right-handed people. And so it's just a bit more dangerous for us lefties to be walking around in a right-handed world. You're not going to catch me complaining about it, though. It is what it is. We've all got our challenges in life. So what's your guys' take? Does anybody have any specific take on these Meta glasses? Are you excited about a post-cell phone world in which you can just wearable this stupid box? I mean, for me, I'm kind of excited about that, but I've made my opinions clear about what kind of a horrible thing cell phones really are for society anyways. So it's like a great benefit to further the downward spiral of humanity anyways. If it's going to go down anyways, we may as well do it conveniently. We may as well make sure that every time we go into the bathroom or we say something off color, it gets recorded and put on the internet, right? I mean, isn't that what it's all about? I don't know. It's funny because when new technology comes along, people like me, and I know that means old people, older people, are always, it's going to change and blah, 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 and we don't like change. The thing is I've been in tech my entire life. I've been outsourced and insourced and this. I don't care about change. I was in the military. I understand about change. Change is inevitable. Change is going to happen. I don't have a problem with change. But I think we've gotten to the point now we're far enough into the cell phone era to be able to analyze the changes that it made and make a relatively reasonable discernment about whether it is good or bad for society. And I can tell you right now, without a shadow of a doubt, this thing is not good for young people. Period. It's not great for adults either, but it's horrifyingly bad for young people. You never learn to think. You never learn to ask questions. You never learn to inquire. And the things that you're asking questions to now, especially with AI, it's almost always wrong. My Navy job was technical. Nuclear power. Nice. Never really considered myself an armed force. Yeah, I was in military intelligence, which is you know, there's lots of jokes that go out there about that. So yeah, there was never any hope of me having to pick up a rifle. Generally speaking, when military intelligence people get attacked, the way that that works out is that you're just in a bunker and the bomb comes and you're dead. So there wasn't much of a chance I was going to pick up a weapon and defend anything. But you never know. You just never know. Someone was saying that one of the new AR glasses only records in vertical. Well, there's that. So, of course, it only records in vertical because, that makes perfect sense. God put our eyes this way so we could easily see the phone. It's just so stupid. You know what? I know I'm broadcasting on TikTok in vertical because it is the standard format, but I'm just going to let all you TikTok folks know. It's wrong. It's very wrong. It's very wrong. TikTok should be a horizontal format. The shorts format is stupid. I hate it. I don't like it. There's no real estate. Look at all this empty space on TikTok. For what? For what? So I could basically you know why that's there? So that when I redo these videos later, there could be the text up there. That's why it's there. Otherwise, it's completely useless. So why? Why? If you check this out on YouTube where I'm streaming in horizontal, there's other things to look at. Yeah, sure, I've got this guy here, but did you know that over on that side right there, we've got Boba Fett. I've got pictures of my wife. I got a painting my daughter drew. Well, you'll never know if you're on TikTok because this is all you get. It's just dumb. It's a stupid format. It's a stupid format. But you know what? It's what the young people are hanging out doing. So I appreciate it, and we're going to continue to, we're going to deal with it. We got Grady been hanging around. Say hi, Grady. It's okay. I would love to interact with somebody on TikTok. Vertical, because we are in a TikTok world. We are. I have to admit, I was pretty resistant to TikTok for a very long time, but man, I've been pleasantly surprised. The folks on TikTok, super cool, very friendly, super nice. It's awesome. It's really awesome. So, I can't toss any shade on the folks that are over on the TikTok platform. They're always super cool to me. Now, I did go live late today. I had a weird situation where my OBS was not wanting to cooperate with me, and that was a bit of a problem. So it kept every time I would put on this particular stream profile, it would crash, which is bad. Crashing is not very helpful. So I had to go into safe mode and do all kinds of crazy stuff to get it to work. But, eventually I did get it to work. Because this technology thing is just driving me nuts. But I figured it out. So I did go live a bit late, and I apologize to those who were, waiting a little longer. It's going to be all right, though. It's going to be all right. We're going to buck it up. We're going to be hardy and stuff. Yep. But I do appreciate you guys coming, hanging out with me, waiting it out. This was a conversation I was excited to have. I've got some really fun topics coming up. I'm probably going to, right at this moment, commit to going live on Tuesdays and Thursdays. That's the plan. Probably right around 10 a.m. That's the plan as well. Every single week. I may switch to Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I might. I don't know. We're also probably going to add another platform now that I'm not double streaming to YouTube. So I might add a Twitch platform as well. And we'll see how things go there. Maybe just skip the Twitch and go to Rumble. I don't know. I've had some fun success with Rumble, and the thing about Rumble is just the act of broadcasting on Rumble gets you paid, period. End of story. You get, you're automatically in their monetization program and whatever. So you could say what you want about whatever the politics are of Rumble. I don't really care. And if I'm being honest, most of the people there don't really care either. So if you have something fun and interesting to talk about, you could take it there. Nobody's going to, Do you get some wacko nut jobs or bots coming into your chat and saying stuff? Yes, occasionally you do. Just get yourself a moderator or two. You can fix that problem and you're all set. You're all set. Otherwise, it's a pretty fun, viable little platform. I had preconceived notions about what I thought TikTok was before I went live on TikTok, and guess what? I was wrong. I think a lot of people's preconceived notions about what Rumble is might be dramatically different if they just went live and hung out over there and see what happens. See what happens. It's a lot of fun. Jeff Daniels says, OBS and the world throws roadblocks. Improvise, adapt, and overcome. That's exactly right. That's what we did this morning. We were only probably a couple of minutes late. So, and it is 11 o'clock. So it's that time. It's time to make the donuts, so to speak. I have to get off. I have a call that I have to make. And I got some video stuff that I'm working on that I'm pretty excited about. I'm not going to lie. I'm doing some different cool stuff that you guys are going to see on this channel. And if you watch my main channel over on the YouTubes, I'm going to be doing some fun stuff there too. So, we're trying to make it happen. I love you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, sharing your opinions, thoughts, ideas, and everything else. It's been an absolute blast. It's been an absolute blast. And the dude just wants you to have fun, have a great day, because this right here, man, we've got muffin to say and all day to say it. Love you guys. Take care. See you soon. I'm outie.